Hey, it's Ryan Cox, your mortgage pro. Just a quick video here about how you can stand out and get an offer accepted in a market like we've got where there could be 12 to 15 offers on every house. As people know, it's a very competitive market right now, so it starts coming down to how quickly you can close, how quickly you can remove contingencies, and those types of things. So it's not just about price. Obviously, price is extremely important, usually the most important factor, but not always. And so to get your offer to stand out, make sure you're working with a great real estate agent. There are many terms within a contract when you write an offer. A great agent is going to understand the ins and outs of the contract and how you can adjust and tweak those to really make it attractive to the seller. So right away, you're trying to get a hold of the listing agent to find out what's going on with the seller, what's their scenario, what's important to them, are they moving somewhere, have they already found another place, and what's going on. That way you can really tee up the terms, like whether you're putting in a higher initial deposit. That's going to be a strong term that can be helpful, but also shortening your contingency periods down for inspections, appraisal, loan approval, shortening those down, adjusting who's paying for what when it comes to transfer taxes, title and escrow, those types of things. Additionally, the way an agent presents their offer in an email and having a conversation with the seller is really important. Making it very clear in the email, kind of bullet pointing things, that's a list, like here's some things within the offer that's really important that makes it stand out a bit. And then a little bit of information on the agent themselves to reassure the seller. Like, hey, you're gonna have an agent that knows what they're doing on the other side of the transaction, yada, yada, yada. A little bit about the lender. They know how to close transactions, they're available. Actually have the lender give the seller a call and tell them that the buyer's loan file is dialed in. And then usually a little bit of information about the buyers as far as what's known. Their job is close by. They're about to start a family, a little bit of information. There's a lot of kind of gray areas about what you can and can't do, but a lot of times just sharing some kind of putting a face behind the offer can be helpful to package that up. So it's not just a price. There's a ton of different things that can be adjusted to really make your offer kind of stand out or look different than any other offers you're competing with. You're essentially trying to give some certainty to the seller, letting them know that amongst these offers, you're working with an agent who's got a lot of experience, who knows what they're doing. You're working with a loan team that has done the due diligence, or else they do not issue pre-approvals if they haven't done the work. They wrote the terms they wrote because they can deliver on them. All this is so once the offer is accepted, you're literally pressing play. Not, oh yeah, we're in contract, let's get our income documents together for our lender. All that's already been done. The lender isn't ordering verification of employment, they've already got that done. Because a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times speed is important. And a seller who's got to sell for one reason or another needs to get closed quick. And so setting realistic but aggressive timelines on how quick you can remove that appraisal contingency, the loan contingency, and things like that. What I've noticed is as things get more competitive, you've got to write things in there that stand out to the buyer who's trying to move to Texas and needs to get this house sold. It might be advisable to order a rush on the appraisal to try to get that back quicker. And really it's a game of inches at times where there might be 14 other offers and 2 or 3 are neck and neck, and you might have a few offers that are really close. If another offer is possibly netting the seller 500 more, but they've never heard of the agent or the lender is unknown and they're not even sure if this is a valid pre-approval, that's a big gamble for the seller to take when they're selling a $600,000 house. Do they want to gamble for an extra $500 or take the sure thing with the people who have a good reputation and they can trust and they can make it to the finish line? As a seller, you want to get it right the first time. It's interesting how much the market reacts negatively when a deal falls out and you come back on the market. The immediate assumption is what's wrong with the house? There's something wrong, I need to know, because they're going to try to hide it or something. And you go from a seller that's in a good position to all of a sudden people are assuming there's something wrong. So you want to get it right from the beginning. So as you're presenting an offer, we would want to structure and say, hey, this is a great team as far as the agent, the lender, the buyer, we're all dialed in. You should be wary of a lender if they're not asking you for a ton of stuff before they issue a pre-approval letter. Your agent should be talking to you about contingency time frames and shortening those. It's incredible how many offers out there are not even mentioning time frames. And when you're looking into 2 offers and one is going to get it done in a week and 10 days faster than the other, that seller that could be crucial. So you need to make sure you're working with a lender that can perform on those shortened time frames, because real estate age and real estate emotions start running high. And if you're not performing on time frames, you might be in a bad spot as a buyer if that seller starts to get emotional and they're going, oh my gosh, you said you're gonna get it done in this time frame and you didn't. And who knows, they're gonna start, at some point getting emotional and worked up about everything. So it's important to be able to write aggressive offers, but also be able to perform on those timelines by getting everything to your lender up front and being able to work through that. So that's a few strategies we're working with in regards to a competitive market where there's a lot of buyers, not many sellers out there. It really comes down to a little bit of differentiating factors. So look forward to talking to you guys soon. Remember that trust is key. Now get out there and be somebody.